Okay, welcome to the Eric Tries Too Hard.
Are we doing a video podcast?
Well, I don't. I extract the audio.
Okay.
So yeah, I know you don't have your face on or anything.
Yeah.
We got So that's Brad, Heartland,
So
and I was trying to make fun of your name, but I can't figure out a way to do so.
it's too good.
This is too many. But yeah, no. So we're gonna have Ryan Sweeney in here in a little bit. But just for the sake of like Brad and I were talking. And we don't like Ryan as much, so we figured we might as well get like 10 good minutes of quality podcasting in before he joins and just ruins it with his Sweeney-ness. But yeah, so me, Brad, and Ryan all went to Elon University, and and I haven't been back in a while. Ryan lives like next door to it. Such an indie rock rebel. I stayed in my hometown. Well, you know what? That's if it's like cool to leave your hometown. He's like, nah, man. Hometown first. But Brad, like we were just talking how you went back there and you're talking about the buildings and the sex parties and the blowjob pops. Everywhere. Did you actually see anything? I know the stuff we were talking about before was interesting to me, but did you see anything that was just generally interesting or entertaining while you were down there?
Well, my legacy lives on. They're still calling it Sub Live. I saw a little.
Oh my God, that's actually worth talking about. Holy
shit!
So Brad, in college, Brad entered every contest where he could win money, food, shirts, whatever it was, and he's actually pretty good at winning these random drawings. However, there was one that was not random. That I guess every week we had like a live musical act come. Who would get paid like insane amounts of money, except when I did it because I was a local student and nobody wanted to see me play anyway. But like we had these people would come every week. These people, and it was like, what did they call it before?
Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay, that's real original.
Yeah.
And that place was perfect for us because they gave out free shirts and free food, and so we'd go. And
free sodas every night, man.
When they used to give out free energy drinks. I would drink those full throttles, and
nobody would go.
I would stay up all night, like feeling like coked up, like making all these plans, like his big
nobody would go to these things, so they had all this extra pizza and soda. We would take pizzas back. I would go home with a full pizza. Yeah. And have that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day Sunday.
The year I didn't live with you was the hungriest year of my life. But and so they had this contest where it was like rename it. It's a terrible name, rename it. And you and I sat there for like a half hour one day and just threw random names in the box. And I I think mine were like really like douchebaggy and me just being a dick to them. Like,
shocking.
Yeah. Shh. Stupid jerk. And at 11 I'll let her go up. Yeah, no, but so did you put in a bunch of names or did you just put in
I put in a few, yeah.
Yeah. But so the one you ended up putting in, which of course won, was called Sub Live. Hey Ryan. So Brad's telling us the story. I'm telling Brad's story of how he named Sub Live.
Oh God.
Ryan, anytime anybody tells you anything, if it's about someone you think you can make fun of, it's good. That's your first words on the podcast. Sup?
Sub Live I thought was like, I don't mean to hijack your story here, but wasn't that the thing where they brought bands in, right? Like that was
yeah. You used to be called Saturday Night Live.
Right. And so I joined. That was like one of the first, I guess, clubs I joined freshman year. I was like, oh, this is cool. I can bring awesome bands to Elon. And there was a choice between like some douche with an acoustic guitar, some other douche with an acoustic guitar, and some like stereotypical rock band with like purple and pink guitars and like really small cocks but really long hair. And like it just like all three of those choices melted everyone. The ladies and the frat douches, and there was another choice, which was Mute Math. Before Mute Math,
Mute Math is not an option for Sub Live. There's no way.
It was 6 people there.
On the student union board when they were planning out some music thing. I don't know if it was Sub Live, but there was a music. It wasn't
Ryan, you're
yes.
talking to Brad, a guy who's in a Mute Math DVD.
Right. No, but okay. So it might not have been Sub Live specific. It might have been one of the small little shows that they had periodically that Sub put on.
Yeah.
I remember when
it was like when they had Ben Lee come when I was a freshman, and that was like their bigger get, but wasn't for a big show.
Yeah. And so all of these shitty bands were on the table, and Mute Math, and I was pushing for Mute Math, man. I was pushing hard for that shit. I was like, these guys are supposed to be great live. Put that shit in. All of your other like acoustic douchey whatever the fuck. It's not good. I hate you all. And so they went with on with the whatever the fuck shitty band, not the douches with the acoustic guitars, but the other douches with the electric guitars, and
with the purple guitar.
And then so
is that like in their press kit? Like, hey, we have purple guitars.
We got purple guitars.
And they have a rider for blowjobs from midgets.
Well, that's comes standard on the copy paper you print riders on,
right.
So that's not exactly their fault. So Brad ended up. What? Make it about the name.
They booked this band, and a week before they fucking cancel. So no show.
Oh my god! Who was it?
I don't know. It was insignificant. Who the fuck cares? Mute Math was not selected, and in the end, nothing happened because no one fucking listened. Because fuck.
So you joined the radio, and life was better, right?
Yeah, because I booked shows that actually were good.
Well, I just think it was because your boss was
spring concerts at Elon. My 4 years there.
Except for our senior year, right? Or
junior? Oh God, that was the worst. Junior year was
something
decent.
Corporate, right?
No,
Jack's Mannequin.
Jack's Mannequin. Yeah, same thing.
Right.
Is that where you had that opening band that like farted into our microphone when we interviewed them?
Yeah, that was farewell. They announced they got signed to Epitaph on our dumbass little radio interview.
And their career just took off.
They actually kind of got back together recently, but yeah, they did.
Oh wow, an epic reunion show for a band that like two of us have heard of. That's exciting.
They did well for a year.
I'm sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to destroy your story. Where were
I'm mostly laughing at how much you seem to hate.
Yeah, you've been holding on to this. Every band who's not from Durham.
I'm a little heated this morning because my wife just got passively aggressive harassed by cat ladies.
How does that work? Did she get? I'm thinking she got passively aggressively attacked by cats.
No. So she's in charge of like putting the cats in the store so that they can be adopted, and she prints out the little labels that have their little names, like Mrs. Muffins and age 1 year, and she's a calico, whatever the fuck. And so she's in charge of putting these little just sheets of paper on there. And one lady complained that one of the volunteer ladies, who's apparently in charge of the organization, complained that it wasn't cut straight. And so that was a big to-do. And
well, how old is your wife? How old is your wife?
What?
How old is your wife?
2 years older than me.
And she's still
22.
Like 20-something. She still can't cut straight? Come on, man. That's like second grade.
I love how I love how Brad set that up, and me and Brad have known his wife 2 years longer than he has.
But
like you didn't know
Brad, I'd like to see you cut something straight with shitty unworking scissors. with little kindergarten scissors? Can you do that?
With what?
With little kindergarten scissors.
Yeah, dude, that's what I learned on.
Okay. Training wheels are off.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Brad renamed it Sub Live, and it's kind of definitely took a much I guess higher energy count than the previous story. But Brad, so you submitted Sub Live as
Sub Live. It was like my dumb entry. Like I submitted all the other stuff that I put into. Like, well, the student union board is called Sub for student union board, and they have live events, so let's just call it Sub Live.
And you're like, yeah, they'll be so pissed when they see this. Yeah. And then you get like a $75 gift certificate to Best Buy or whatever the price was.
And I got to meet Andrew McMahon because he was the spring act that year.
Who?
So did every girl in our class.
Oh.
Dude, he is like seriously at the time, maybe even a little before during Something Corporate's heyday, felt like, and I think I've said this to you before, Brad, and you've yelled at me, but he feels like he was like the pop punk Justin Timberlake when it came to girls.
No, I can see that. I can see that.
Just like Connor Oberst was the indie rock Timberlake.
Yeah.
I felt like, man. So, do you guys feel? Are you guys liking more modern day pop music more now than you did younger? Because I am. And the fact that I'm like, my heart beats so fast at the idea of another Carly Rae Jepsen CD that like, unironically, because I just think it's fantastic music.
I wouldn't say that I like it more. I mean, I find myself...
What if there's a pop band from Durham?
There is, but I'm not a big fan of them. I'm really not a big fan. No, I definitely find myself not as like I don't go out of my way to avoid it. If something comes on, like I can see. I respect this. I see why it's catchy, and I think there's some really good pop acts out there. I think Lady Gaga has immense talent. I'm not really a big fan of her recorded stuff, but she can sing and she can play the piano. I mean, she's talented.
So you saw that one thing on the Grammys or whatever?
Yeah, she also did that thing with what's his face, that jazz record that they did.
She did a jazz record?
Like Tony Bennett or something.
Yeah,
right?
Tony Bennett. Yeah.
And Paul McCartney and Kanye.
Hey,
they were just sucking each other off in the background, making noises there.
Well, so
I feel like in high school I was much more like socially averse to pop music. Like, oh, I'm not. Your boys suck, man. Oh, whatever. But I can't remember if I quote unquote secretly liked it back then or not. I can't remember, but there's stuff from back then I liked. And I still listen to now. There's stuff pop music today that I like. There is definitely pop music today that I do not like, and just feels like this just like the most cookie cutter you can get. But there's I mean, like every genre, there's good stuff and there's bad stuff.
No, you go.
I heard a T-Swift song and I liked it. I wouldn't go out of my way to like buy a record. And then I heard another T-Swift song. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And so
that's track 2.
Little polarized. So
I just feel that pop artists and the people who write pop music are now, I feel like they've started incorporating things that were very popular in alternative music.
Like what?
Okay, for instance, and this could be, I can't tell if I'm reverse engineering this theory, but you know how like One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer, and I'm trying to think and Kesha and the handful, keep going, I just don't want to say any ones that aren't accurate, are all produced by and have songwriters who wrote or produced a lot of huge pop punk, ska, and like alt rock records. And so I think that so I might be reverse engineering it based on being like, well, maybe that's why, because I'm noticing elements of these other genres that I like better than pop music. And obviously the people who wrote those other genres, like fucking the dude from like Goldfinger produces, what's it called? I think it's 5 Seconds of Summer. Not that I like that.
But like what elements are you noticing?
Okay, so I guess what I'm saying, like honestly, Busier. You go back and listen to any Backstreet Boy, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, the big four or whatever of like our middle school and high school age of like pop music. You have songs that really not much is happening.
Yeah.
Like there's really not much going on. Lyrical content hasn't really changed. I mean, it's changed to adapt to whatever is big in
current references, but same.
Yeah. Same overall. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then the music underneath it, there's a lot more active drums. They may still be programmed, but especially now live, those pop artists have live bands behind them. It's debatable what's being tracked in the background and what's not, but it's still like it's like they've incorporated the feel of live music into these things. And you listen to like a Katy Perry record, or specifically like a Kesha record. There is just a lot of music happening, a lot of extra melodies beyond. Like it seemed like the old pop records, it was let's make the most basic, bland background music, and then have our pretty looking, beautiful sounding singers sing like I don't know, generic gibberish over top of it. And so it was really just like a way to showcase these singers in a way that they could, whatever. I have my own theories. I was gonna say look good on a video. I feel like it was the whole package they were selling, but like as opposed to just the music. But like nowadays, I'd say that there's a lot in the music or the instrumentals of these pop stars. A lot of music going on, a lot of melodies, and many times in these songs, the singer isn't the number one absolute focus, and I think that makes it a better song.
That's because they're not the ones that wrote the song.
Well, I don't give a shit.
If
the drummer writes this, I'm not gonna get mad at Chad Kroeger if the bassist writes the songs for Nickelback.
No, I'm not. I'm saying. I mean, maybe there's something to the fact that there's less focus on the artist because the
Zomba music group was writing for NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, et cetera, back then. Like, I don't think that's changed much. I just think it's that maybe it's now that there are less gatekeepers and it's more like a free market of what music gets popular thanks to the internet. I think maybe this could be the first step of major labels catching on and going, oh shit, we should be hiring these people who are clearly favored over time. Like, pop stars have a short lifespan of their music, and I think that's why. I think it's because they're selling pop stars as a package of, here's the personality, here's the image, here's the video, oh, and here's the music. But there are other bands that their fan bases, even if they don't reach millions and millions of people, they stay forever because the music is just that solid and that timeless. And I think they're trying to incorporate, if not, I don't think it's an active thing of, oh, we need these elements to make the songs better for our pop stars. I think it's, we need to hire the people who are writing these like timeless songs to write for our pop stars.
So do you think listeners are more savvy now, and that is just upping the bar for everybody?
Huh. Well, I was going to say no. I was going to say that people, bands that were getting spread by word of mouth and very big in underground places, or just like, I don't know, whatever, not on TV or the radio, now you can actually see like, oh shit, this artist who we've never really heard of has 500,000 hits on YouTube. So it's like the people who are savvy have more of a voice.
Gotcha.
Also, and this is something that I do think happens with comedy and the internet, and definitely happens with strategy games and the internet, is that the general consensus of everything, really, general knowledge of everyone.
Those are just the two things that you're into.
Yes. Notice I quickly brought it back with, and everything else in the world. I'm just
comedy, strategy games, and everything else.
In that order. I think people are getting just more knowledgeable about any subject that they're interested in because, and humans in general are, because we're all sharing this knowledge and the internet becomes this hive mind of ideas, and we're solving problems faster and we're getting exposed to more art faster. And I don't know if that's the same with music. If the more music you listen to, the better, quote unquote, your music tastes are and the more savvy of a listener you are. But I think you're definitely getting exposed to more.
Would you say it's depth or width?
What,
That's what she said.
Oh, damn it. No, Brad's is better. That's what she... Oh, man, I haven't heard a good one.
I'm trying to have a serious conversation, guys. I'd really appreciate a little bit of sincerity.
Yeah, and we're trying to have an audio podcast, so stop doing visual gags. Jesus Christ. Do you know how hard it's been to ignore what I'm seeing on your screen? Like, I spat my coffee out the first time I saw it. There's a point you clearly forgot you had it on, and you were scratching your chin. Ryan's like, God damn it, I wasn't going to mention it.
Totally,
Ryan's got fucking dog face on with a monocle and a beard. And it's stupid. But every once in a while, he's like deep in thought, making a point. And
I'm scratching my face to avoid from laughing myself and just completely derailing.
All right. Go, yeah. Thanks for not derailing the podcast.
Oh, I lost my face. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. So Brad renamed it Sublive, and all right. So that was my pop music question. The other 7 questions I had in my head are all gone.
So, no, I think we're getting to a good point. When you're talking about the
exactly. I was dying over here.
No. Answer my question. You know exactly what I was asking. Width or depth? Do you think? Do you think people have like a deeper knowledge of more things, or do they have a shallow knowledge of way more
things. Shallow of a lot of things. Absolutely. Oh, and that transitions. Oh, actually, do either of you have a strong opinion about the answer to that question?
I'm more curious about where casual music listeners are hearing new songs. Like YouTube. Yeah, people don't listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But you did say casual, so I imagine that's more the stumble upon audience of what drifts into your head.
I feel like it's still radio to the sense, but in the sense of Pandora, not like FM.
Oh, right. You know what? I completely forgot about Pandora when you said that. I was like, what the fuck could he possibly mean? Oh, yeah, exactly.
Is that still relevant? Are they still...
Yeah, you only need to... For a casual listener, that's great, because you only need to know a couple of bands that you like.
Yeah.
And that leads the way to a lot of things. It's just, I think it would be hard in this day and age to stay a casual listener, because if you're exposed to so much music there are algorithms that find other music that's similar to it, you're going to end up liking a lot more bands, which I think is really cool.
I don't know. I think if you're a casual listener, you're probably completely indifferent to music.
I don't think it's not like the technology or whatever holding you back from being a more hardcore fan. I think it's just not how you are. You're just not a person who's like super into music, and so whatever comes along, But somebody who's really into art can't process how you are not into art. Like,
yeah, I'm so... Dude, bullshit. I've made that... Oh, damn it. You keep listening to the old podcast, Brad. Brad's trudging his way through somehow. I don't know how you're making it through, but I appreciate it. I do. It's so funny, because right before we said that, I was like, oh, what I just said, I made your point on a previous podcast. And I was like, well, I'm not into art, so how can I judge? And here I was like, I'm still going to take a shot. And they're like, what? I can't understand that. And you're like, well... You're not into art. Like, fuck. God damn it. Okay, so as far as now, this is the depth versus width question is intriguing to me in a lot of ways. But one way, which leads to something I want to talk about, which was, and excuse me, if we talked about this the last time we did a podcast together, please let me know and I'll just go on. But did we talk about if a band you like or an artist you like is an asshole, if that makes you like the band less or the art less? No, we didn't. So
we didn't.
I feel like I had this conversation with you.
Yeah, we probably had it in real life. I'm gonna let my dog out, but you guys, whatever. Hold on.
It's definitely hard to separate that sometimes. I feel like.
Was it just dead air?
No. I was saying it feels hard to separate that sometimes. Like I want. Especially if I feel like the normal chronological order is you find this band, you like the music, you get really into it, and then you find out you don't like the person for whatever reason, and then it becomes it's kind of a scale, like it's like a balancing act, like how much do you like the music versus how much do you not like the person?
Yeah, because you realize when you purchase an album or you go to a show, you're supporting that person.
Yeah.
I have the same dilemma with Chick-fil-A. The exact same dilemma. Like, how can I? So
are you guys?
That chicken is so good now.
So let's just talk about the artist we're all thinking of with this, Afro Man.
Is that who we're thinking?
We all love his music. We'll love it, but we can't believe the thing that he did. By the way, you guys saw that video, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, I somewhat kind of opened up for Afro Man soft.
What? Hello?
I'm still here.
You're still here? Did Eric? Okay, so Eric
dropped out.
Allegedly opened up for Afro Man.
Yeah.
And that happened. Brad, did you hear about the Sun Kill Moon thing?
No.
So... Are you familiar with Hopscotch in North Carolina?
No.
So they're trying to create this music festival. I think it's going to be in its 4th or 5th year coming up. They're trying to be like a South by Southwest, North Carolina kind of thing. But Sun Kill Moon played a show, and there were some people talking, as people do in shows, as we all hate, but they were. And the exception to this was he was tuning. It was between songs, and he basically called everyone in the audience a bunch of fucking. She said, like, "Shut up, you fucking hicks," or something along those lines.
What? Like in response to what?
The people talking
People
between
talking.
songs.
How big of a like how many people were there?
It was. Did you ever go to the Lincoln Theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a packed show at Lincoln Theater.
Okay.
So hundreds of people were there, I would assume. I was not there personally. I just heard recountings of the tale.
So,
and then he proceeded to a similar incident for the War on Drugs thing. They were playing a festival, and he could hear War on Drugs playing on another stage, and then said that War on Drugs can...
Was there like an immediate backlash to that, like the fans in the room?
Oh yeah, there was a total media backlash. The Indie wrote about it. There was a lot of a couple of journalists, local music journalists, said some words, and he later attacked them kind of passive aggressively in a song that he released called "War on Drugs Can Suck My Cock."
He put out a song called that.
Yeah, he did.
What is?
I can find it for you.
What's he thinking? What's his?
I don't know. I don't know how
you feel disrespected by that.
By the people talking?
Yeah. Like, is that like what's going through his head?
I have no idea. I mean, it just seems like he's completely. I don't know if he's trying to speak out so that he gets any press is good press, or.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there seems to be no reason to be a complete dick to your fans. I don't know what's going through his head. I guess maybe ego, but I don't know. It was really weird, and he just keeps digging a hole, and digging and digging. Yeah. Are we able to do YouTube clips on here?
To do what?
Is there? Can we do? Is there like a YouTube thing?
It's a Google product. There's gotta be a way to share some YouTube.
It's gotta be a way to integrate.
Yeah.
I've got a link here. Let's see if we can play it. Oh, there we go.
Why, hello.
Oh, that was weird. Okay, sorry. I got kicked off. It said the connection been... It doesn't matter. Keep on going. I was listening as you guys were talking. You're having a fantastic conversation. That was awesome. But now that I've joined, I'm going to hijack... No, finish out what you were talking about. Then I want to talk about Kanye West.
Yeah, so
let's go talk about Kanye West.
So I love... He is a genius. So I'm going to quote South Park here, and not as a joke. That's not my dog, is it? Am I that neglectful? So anyway, oh sorry, that was just Ryan with his fucking dog head. So I'm gonna quote South Park, not as a joke. Kanye West is a lyrical genius, voice of a generation, and he is a musical genius, and he is an incredibly hard worker, and incredibly innovative, and unbelievably accepting of other industry professional and even janitors at recording studios' opinion, and will put in as much effort, work, and raw talent that he possibly can into making the best art for humanity. That said, he is a 2-year-old. He is an absolute 2-year-old. I don't want to say an asshole, because I don't think he's doing any of it to be mean. He is 100%... I think he's 100% earnest.
Is he a 2-year-old, or is he just confident and like hyper-confident and just says what's on his mind?
Like a 2-year-old?
he really does have the emotional maturity of a toddler.
Because it really does seem like, it seems like, because here's the thing, he's had, unlike a lot of other really successful entertainers, he's actually had a shit ton of personal and professional bumps in the road. He's experienced an unbelievable amount of failure, but I mean, as many people who've known him for a long time will say, he's always been the, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get there, I'm going to make it, I'm going to do this, which is a great attitude to have, but it doesn't negate the fact that he had so many professional failures and false starts, and it took a lot of work for him to even get on a platform where he could just make the art that he wanted to make. And so someone like that, typically should be able to go, oh, okay, I have some insight and perspective into what's happening around me, but it really feels like toddlerish when he's crashing award shows. And okay, here's what it is. Sorry, I'll wrap it up and then you guys go. But it's like, when he goes up and complains about Beck or complains about Taylor Swift or complains about whatever, except for Bush, that was fine. When he does those things, it's not just that he does those things. You'd expect someone of his position and his intelligence to go, oh yeah, I totally see why so many people think I'm an asshole. I totally get it. But here's why I think what I did is valid. To me, that's a confident person. But a toddler goes, why is everyone mad at me? Why is everybody upset with what I did? Of course, and there's of course the Cracked article, which was, what if Kanye West is mentally challenged? And they take aspects of his life and career. I knew Ryan would love that. And then they said, like, if he's like an eccentric genius, what it means, and then what if he's actually just mentally challenged and what that means. And it was a humorous article, but it's like, yeah, sorry, so go. I'd just like to drop that reference.
What are we going on?
I got so frustrated with everybody like jumping on this like, oh, I hate Kanye bandwagon. Like, Beck plays 18 instruments on his album. He's a true artist. Kanye had like 18 writers on his album and plays computers, blah, blah, blah. But so apparently no one took the time to like look at the interview the day after when Kanye clarified what he was trying to get at with that comment and saying that to the effect of respecting artistry in the context of giving credit to the other nominees, where Beck what Kanye wanted was Beck to get up there and say these other people that were nominated had fantastic albums. Like, I'm just lucky to be up here with these people. Not in the sense of like Beck is not. He didn't say Beck is not an artist, but everybody treated it that way, and that's what frustrated me with that whole quote unquote.
You know what frustrates me? This whole thing. Well, what frustrates me about the whole thing is it's an award show and it's completely meaningless.
Well, it means that's
another thing.
And to the world, apparently.
We're putting objective terms on a subjective art form, which is a whole other debate.
Exactly.
Well, it's just the other thing that is interesting that Kanye has given away 3 of his awards to other artists who he thought should win. Granted, those awards were always like best background instrumental in a.
No, he gave away like his it was like a either song of the year or album of the year, I think, to Outkast at the BET Awards one year.
That was BET Awards. Come on.
Hey, what are you trying to say, buddy?
I'm trying to say, well, I was hoping it would be like an MTV Awards because that would be a way funnier joke.
Yeah.
But it's not a Grammy. That's what I'm trying to say.
The whole thing, the Taylor Swift thing, whatever, like, God, that was like 4 years ago by now, I think. That
he's grown a lot since then.
That I can give you. But the thing with the Grammys, when he started to go up, but then went back to his seat. That was a joke, man. Like, everybody's laughing. You could see everybody
Jay-Z's face?
Yes, it was like everybody knew what was going on. It was funny. Like, lay up, like ease up,
It's an award show.
And he has an album coming out, and he is a master of promotion.
He's in promoter mode, absolutely.
And like that's
he's not Kanye West right now. He's Chris Gaines. He's Chris Gaines.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan, did you hear the new Chris Gaines album?
No.
No, you didn't?
No.
You loved his first one though, right?
Who?
Chris Gaines. You like his older stuff though, right?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Garth Brooks made an album as rock and roll star Chris Gaines, and like dressed as this other person and did a whole fucking. I think it was Garth Brooks. It was pure lunacy, whatever it was. It was like think Jim. It's not Jim Carrey. He's promoting Man on the Moon, and he did that thing where he dressed as like a biker for a year. You may have been too young, right?
Probably.
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. Kanye is such a enigma, and also Ryan, I thought you'd have a much more visceral reaction to Kanye. Instead, you're just angry about award shows. So, like, I didn't.
Kanye is insignificant to me. I haven't really.
I want to know why. I'm not going to argue with you. I just want to hear a counterpoint.
I'm glad that you said to me. Insignificant to me. I'm glad you put.
You said award shows were insignificant. Kanye is just insignificant to you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make my broad sweeping statements, and then I'm gonna make my statements
take
that are
local music global.
Yeah, why not, right?
So what's your beef with Kanye?
I don't have a beef with him. He's insignificant to me. I've listened to a few of his songs. I can't say that I was hooked by any of them, and I really had no interest to seek out anything else. Maybe I saw one interview with him that was slightly interesting, and the rest, he just sounds like a little man-child. And sometimes it's amusing, sometimes I feel like I'm just wasting my time, like devoting my eye space to him.
Would you say you're a fan of rap music?
I like rap.
Like whom? Just to get a bass.
Well, the reason I paused is because of how high your voice went. You said, "Yeah, I like rap."
I like rap. I like the rippity rap.
Sure. But no, I'm not trying to put you on the spot here or anything. I'm just curious.
I like rap.
Like what the
I own Doggy Style on a double LP. Throw that out there.
You own it on double D-O-double-G?
D-O-double-G-LP.
Dude, fuck this. Let's talk about Doggy Style forever.
Killer record, the concept album, sick. And
yeah. Did you? I forget. Are you a Tribe Called Quest fan?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I was good because I recalled talking about. Okay, yeah. I recall talking about that with you like a year ago. I thought.
Yeah, one of my favorite modern rappers is Kanon. I think he's got a good thing going.
Brad, do you think Ryan would like Wale?
Probably not. Not current Wale,
No.
at least.
No. Oh, is he gone mainstream?
He's a little more mainstream, yeah.
A lot of bitches and hoes.
Ever since he signed with Rick Ross's label.
Rick Ross, that guy loves to eat, hates shirts.
He's lost a lot of weight actually recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of date. I'm out of touch. I've sold out.
Speaking of rap, unless you're still going with this train.
No, we can run a train on something else.
Okay. The new Wu-Tang album and the manufactured exclusivity of it.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
So and here's the other thing, because I feel like there's a lot of misconception with that too. It's like, oh, no one's allowed to listen to it for 88 years until the whatever runs up. But that's a commercial copyright for 88 years. No one can sell it for 88 years. You can, like, whoever buys it can listen to it. It's not like it can still be distributed, just not. It cannot be sold commercially.
Have you considered a career as a PR agent for like rap artists? You seem to know exactly what they mean to say.
No, it's not.
Listen, every Sunday Kanye West does something like outlandish, and every Monday morning you're on TV like, listen, what my client means.
Can you imagine being Kanye's PR person?
I would, dude. Well, his PR person is just like, you know who would make a good PR person for Kanye? It would be me, because it's what he needs. It'd be someone going into here like, dude, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. You got to do it, man.
It's either the hardest job in the world or the easiest job in the world.
If
you can just go in the next day and say, it's Kanye. Like,
it's
you
guys, it's Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What? Or when you finally like have had enough and you break down, you're like, guys, it's Kanye. What do you think's gonna happen when I say no to him?
Right.
Like, he's gonna yell at me in French for like 30 minutes, and he doesn't know French. So, Doggy Style. One of my favorite aspects of that record is, other than its blatant misogyny, which we've all, I think as a society, we've decided, this actually fits into our discussion. We've collectively decided that those, like some of those older rap songs, specifically that album, is just so good that we're willing to be like, you know what, all that horrible lyrical content, that's okay. Yeah. We can forget that it happened. It didn't happen because the music is so good. And I feel like that's another example of people just going like, man. Yeah. Well, I love
Ice-T is on the Tonight Show the other week.
He plays a cop. Cop killer plays a cop. I mean,
yeah.
I know it's a hacky joke, but it's accurate. Well, that Doggy Style record has one of the coolest, like, there are a lot of dumb skits on rap records, but that one, the fact that they only had 2 or 3 of them on there, but it was cool that it kind of like went as a little storyline. How he had that the whole radio station like skit feel going through, and it was the station called W Balls, and then like early on it's clearly like a rap show on W Balls, then later it's like a smooth R&B show on W Balls, and my local Baltimore TV station is just called W Ball. So every time I see those commercials, I'm like, on W Balls, W Balls, W Balls. And then I instinctively play Ain't No Fun, which is a song about running a train, which is kind of insane. Okay, so we got a little time left. I'm glad that I didn't have to start another like Google thing. Sorry about the internet connectivity problems. So the last one I wanted to ask about was, so I'm just going to say...
We didn't talk about Afroman, though, man.
Oh, okay.
Well, unless this question you have is incredible.
To talk about Afroman.
Well, no, I'm not Afroman, but the whole scenario of the right and wrong of getting on stage and the right and wrong of correcting said behavior via...
I'll tell you one thing, that girl won't be getting on stage anymore. She learned her lesson.
Well, Afroman finally got another hit.
Oh, okay. All right.
What? Colt 45 was a classic. That was his other hit. Oh, you mean like I was saying it was like the slap? I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, damn it. You know what? I got the laugh and I got the groan at the same time. I should have just stopped. Well, so I don't think you should be... I think there should be bouncers who can...
Yeah, where was the security of the show?
It's an Afro-Man show. The security is forbidden in the rider. Like, no, but seriously, that's kind of how it is at most shows where somebody gets on stage, security's there to grab them, rough them up a little bit, but not punch them in the face and take them out.
I'm not. So, at a major show, security makes sense, but you can't have security at every show. You can't have security at local shows. You can't have security at smaller venues.
What size shows is Afroman playing? Like, I'm sure he can still draw a decent crowd these days.
Well, the other thing is that he would, when someone goes on tour, even like local bands or smaller bands, they bring somebody who's like driver / merch / security. Like, it doesn't have to be an official security thing. It's just somebody who can be by the stage. Like, sometimes you might get a guitar tech who's just a big dude, and that's your security. But, like, I get it at local shows, but, like, if you're playing local shows... Okay, if your band is big enough that people are trying to jump on stage and, like, grind on you, it's probably time to invest in some security.
I just feel like Afroman is big enough where he's playing shows that are big enough to have, like, built-in security. Like, the venue has security.
Security's been hotboxing in the green room for the last, like, 4 hours. So let's...
So I don't put... I think the burden should be on the audience. Like, if you're going to get up on stage where there's a lot of activity, where people are doing their job, where they're focused, you might get hurt. It's like, you know, that stupid lady that bought coffee from McDonald's and spilled it all over herself. If
Actually,
you do it properly, you're going to get hurt. Like, do I think it was right of Afroman to hit that lady? Yes.
What were you going to call her?
Do I think she deserved it? 100%. Don't get on stage and fuck with shit, because that shit might happen. That's your fault. Deal with it.
So Ryan is clearly Afroman's publicist.
No, I've
he's been listening to too much Doggy Style.
I'm not talking about Afroman. I'm talking about musicians in general. Like, I've seen, I can't count the times that people have jumped on stage and have been hovering around guitarists and all this. It's just, you can sense the irritation. Just like, why are you doing that? Don't fuck with that shit. Just stay in the audience. Like, you're not. Yeah.
Well, this past year, there's been, and I know I have mentioned this before, how a lot of punk and pop punk artists are incorporating not only the sounds, but kind of the culture of indie rock in recent years. And in this past year, there's been a real, like, wave of bands who don't want fans to stage dive. Bands who don't want fans to, like, have a huge mosh pit. Bands that don't want fans to, like, grab the mics and sing along, which is very foreign coming from a punk, like, mindset. And so there's been a lot of headbutting with a number of bands. Joyce Manor was a big one.
Right.
There are other bands that people would go up and try to kiss a male or singer or female lead singer, and that was another like series, like a couple of bands that had issues with that. But so all these bands that are now that I've been watching this past year have this real culture clash between what's punk and what's professional, and so that is very interesting that you point that out, because it's like the Joyce Manor thing, for instance. Some guy kept stage diving and jumping on like small girls in the front row, and the singer called him out and like made him feel like an asshole.
Right.
And,
which is the appropriate response, not to like wail on him, like cock back and like slap him in the face.
The next night after that video came out, somebody went to the show intentionally trying to get into a fight with the singer. And the singer almost got into a fight with him. It was very close. But here's the thing, though. Fans, in general, like across the board, fans and fans of the genres, had major backlash against the bands who did that. With the exception of the bands where they had girl singers and guys kept running on stage trying to kiss them. That was kind of unanimous. But when it came to girl fans on stage trying to like make out with singers, like male singers, or a band yelling at a dude for trying to stage dive, there was major backlash. And those bands were just like, oh, well, you're just being a bunch of bitches. It's not about you, it's about us. It's about the scene, it's about the genre, it's not about you as an artist. And that's not what they're saying, because they don't have enough insight to say that, but I feel like that's kind of, I don't know if this is a generational thing or if this is a genre thing, but I think the fans they're no longer seeing people on stage as rock stars. They're seeing them as, or even as artists, they're just seeing them as, oh, you're the help. You're the same as the bartender. That's not true. You're the same as the bartender I'm trying to bang after this. But no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, on some level, they kind of see themselves as the stars. The audience sees themselves as the stars, which is why I think you have people who are willing to just fucking grind on Afro Man. Well, he's playing a guitar solo. He's not just rapping. He's playing a guitar solo.
Do you think that's has changed? Like, would people 50 years, or not 50 years, like, whatever, however many years ago, have that same reaction? We just know that they're having that reaction now because of the internet.
I can't tell. I just know that I was always obsessed with the artists. But I might just be different. I don't know if that's something about me. I mean, I'm special. I'm a snowflake. I'm unique. Like, I'm all of these things: dangerous, lady killer, bad boy. But I can't really tell what other people are thinking. Is that too much?
I feel like kids these days just have some weird sense of entitlement. That's just.
Well, everyone in your 10th grade geometry class is kind of full of themselves, right?
I know. I hate it. I can't do proofs in peace. Like, what the hell?
Proofs. That was
quick.
My God. Holy shit. I love Ryan. Ryan looks like a 12-year-old, if you guys couldn't tell by now.
But I'm only 8.
What?
Yeah. So I mean,
that was a courtesy laugh, Ryan.
Afro Man. Bringing you back to Afro Man.
There you go, an audio gag from Ryan. Finally. All right. Bring it back to Afro Man.
I agree with Ryan's sentiment that it was wrong. I do not agree that the appropriate response was not to knock her out.
I think
it's not knock her down.
I think he should have stopped the show and been like, look, I'm not gonna keep playing until you get the fuck off the stage because you're being inappropriate.
Yeah, like call her out and say something. Like it's
It's like, I am not a stripping pole. Go somewhere else.
Yeah,
a stripping pole. Ryan's never been to a strip club. A stripping
pole.
A stripping cylinder. No,
yeah,
no,
where's
no
all
good?
the
all right.
where's all the no good. Where's all everybody's you're calling out Kanye for being immature and childish, but you're saying Afro Man was in the right to knock this girl out.
I'm not saying he was in the right to knock her out. I'm saying
I thought you did.
I don't think
Kanye should have teabagged Beck, is what Ryan is saying. He should have jumped up in one fell swoop, launched off that podium, and just right in his mouth.
Yeah. No, I don't think I don't think punching her in the face while he was stolen was the right approach.
Okay, you're solo. Punch her in the face.
Yeah,
respect.
But do I think
Be professional.
she deserved it? Yeah, you gotta get. If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. You play with fire, you're gonna get burned. Like don't do it.
You started to like be like, okay, meet Brad in the middle, and then you're like, yeah, hit her in the face. Fuck yeah, burn, fire.
No,
burn.
I'm not saying that he should have hit her in the face while he was soloing.
Right. You're saying that someone should.
I'm not saying that he was right to. I'm saying his actions were wrong and hers were wrong as well. And if you combine two wrong actions,
you get a hard right.
You're gonna get punched in the face.
Oh man.
Could he have handled it better? Yes.
Afro Man's
I don't feel sorry for her. What I'm saying is I don't feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
My main reaction from that video was, "That's Afro Man."
Yeah. Well, you didn't see him at Elon, right?
No.
He was even bigger. He got huge. Like his size and his popularity definitely crisscrossed a little bit. Well, you know who the real winner is in all this? Me. Because now when I tell people, now I can put opened up for Afro Man back on my resume because people know who the fuck he is again.
You just got 4 more years of legs out of that.
Yep. There was a dry spell where I had to take that off. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's back on the menu, boys. Oh man. Oh, God, that was fun. All right, I'm going to start. God, I don't want to wrap up, but I should. I got to go get these car seats that we put in for the baby. We got to get them checked out by like the suspension board, the inspection board. And I guess
when's this coming out?
When's this baby dropping?
Yeah, when's this dropping?
This file dropping March 20th. Got like 13 days to go. If it come out sooner, if it gets leaked, if something leaks, then it's going to come out sooner.
No, please stop using.
I've been recording this, and I'm going to leak it tomorrow.
I've been working on this 9 months. It's been cooking. It's been in the lab. Dude. So, man, there's a song. I think it's off of. It's off Doggy Style. Doggy Style and First Chronic. The Chronic is like. Every once in a while, some of those songs get mixed up for me, like which song is on which record. Yeah. Especially because
they're both all over each other's records.
Yeah. Because there's definitely you can split those each record in a third. It's like a third of them are the hits, and you're like, well, I know what record that's from because it's a hit, and I'm well aware. Then there's a third of it that's just either Dre or Snoop, and you're like, well, obviously. But then there's another third of each record where they're on each other's stuff, but they weren't hits, and so you're like, what the fuck was that? There's one. I think it's at the end. I think it's the last track of It is Doggy Style. It's the last track of Doggy Style, and I'm gonna try to look it up real quick. I can't play it here because I don't remember how to play actual songs here. But I definitely want people, whether they've heard that record or not, if they haven't heard the record, go listen to Ain't No Fun and try to ignore the vocals that are just horrible. And as beautiful as that Nate Dogg opening is, the lyrics are so fucked up. But like, Brad, you actually, so real quick. I'm going to pull them up to make sure. Jesus. I wanted to, and so here's the opening.
I like how you start your stories with real quick, as if any story you ever tell could be real quick.
Did I say real quick?
You say real quick all the time.
Well, so you know what that is? That's to get people to actually pay attention and not go, oh. So it's when I met you last night, baby, before you opened up your gap. I had respect for you, lady, but now I take it all back. Because you gave me all your pussy, and you even licked my balls. So leave your number on the cabinet, and I promise, baby, I'll give you a call. Next time I'm feeling kind of horny, you can come over, and I'll break you off. And if you can't fuck that day, baby, just lay back and open your mouth. Because I've never met a girl that I love in the whole wide world. I remember listening to that with you, Brad, freshman year, and it's, like, sung beautifully. It's one of the most beautiful pieces of melody I've ever heard. And you said... Not that it would ever justify those other lyrics. I mean, obviously they're exaggerating like crazy. Like that's just it's intentionally like fucked up. They're not like, oh yes, this is how I feel about women. No, it's like no, that's how I feel about that group of women. No, but you said it actually like if you even take it seriously and you look at it from an artistic sense. The last two lines, because I've never met a girl that I love in the whole wide world. You were telling me you're like it's actually kind of like. Really, really sad. And you're painting a picture of this guy who's like this player who just doesn't give a fuck and it's just like, nope, everybody's just a sex object to me, that's it. But then the reason why is he's never actually had genuine feelings for someone which starts to make sense why you're not showing any kind of emotion towards somebody that you don't emote towards, and it's really, really sad.
Sad.
That's so sad. And she probably wouldn't, let the guys pass her around, which is the point of the song. So,
right.
It ain't no fun if the homies can get them. Yeah, also, Jesus Christ. Now I'm depressed. And Nate Dogg's...
That was a little late. Sorry.
yeah, it is.
Don't cheapen this meaningful discussion of Ain't No Fun.
Yeah, what, Ryan, come on.
Someone should re-record that as like a soft, sad ballad.
I want to, but I want to so bad. But I suck. Like, who's going to take over Nate Dogg's vocals? Like, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it's just called... That's a weird fucking... I guess that is Doggy Style. I guess it's weird. I guess it's G's and Hustlers. That's the Snoop Dogg song. It's one of the last tracks on fucking... Is this a bonus track album I'm looking at? Because there's a lot more songs on it. Anyway, it's called G's and Hustlers, and it's one of the coolest. It's like a buried deep in Doggy Style. This is one of the best rap beats I've ever fucking heard, and I never see it get put on any list. It wasn't a single or anything. I never see it get put on any list. So if you're like a big fan of, especially early '90s, like G-Funk era hip hop, G's and Hustlers. So do you guys have any music recommendations before we leave?
If you're into '90s hip hop and looking for someone current, I would recommend Joey Badass.
Is he like Riff Raff or?
He's just like Riff Raff.
If you're in the mood for some lush prog rock, Stephen Wilson dropped his new album.
Every fucking time you.
I'm sorry, I like good music. What more do you want from me?
You like the same.
I'm sorry, I like
artist.
good music.
You know what? We are too. All right, so this has been Eric Tries to Our podcast. I can't believe, Ryan, you kept all that shit on your face the entire fucking time. I've forgotten what you look like. And, well, thank you guys for doing this, and I'll hit you guys up and we'll do it again. This was fun.
All right, see ya.
All right, see you guys.